I've chosen Roberta for my week 3 and 6 assignments. Roberta discusses having difficulty recovering from a previous breakup over 3 years ago. She comes from a traditional Catholic family, and her parents immigrated from Mexico to the United States. She is struggling with her faith to an extent, or at least with admitting that to her parents. She states that her father is controlling, and she worries for her younger sister, who is still in the family home. Additionally, she is struggling with grieving the loss of her grandmother and her uncle who committed suicide unexpectedly. Her job gives her significant anxiety, and she feels discriminated against due to her status and gender. She also states that she contemplates suicide to a degree and wonders if everyone does so as well. I chose Roberta because she has some significant issues that need to be addressed and mild suicidal ideation. I believe that counseling could greatly benefit her and bring her some clarity. The assessment method that I think would be most beneficial is the RIP-SKIP method to determine Roberta's potential for suicide. This includes evaluating risk and protective factors, addressing current suicidal ideation, determining if there is a plan in place, determining the client's agitation arousal in relation to suicide and how it affects their self-control, addressing suicidal intent levels, and creating a safety plan. I believe that this approach would be beneficial because it addresses the vital factors that encompass suicidal ideation and intent, as well as provides a viable solution to help the client develop practical plans and coping mechanisms. This is important because the counseling session only lasts for so long, and the client should be given a greater understanding not only of their own feelings, but also of feasible intervention strategies that they themselves can implement. Another assessment that might be beneficial in addressing the client's potential for suicide is the slap and dirt assessment approach. This includes determining if the client has a specific plan for suicide, determining how lethal their plan may be, assessing the availability of carrying out that plan, and the proximity of help for the client. Additionally, if there was a previous attempt, this assessment can determine how dangerous the attempt was, the client's impression of the danger involved in the attempt, the way in which they survived the attempt, and the timing and time planning of the attempt. This seems like it would be most beneficial for someone who has already attempted suicide or is experiencing extreme ideation, and this does not seem like the case for Roberta. To address the need for suicide assessment, I would explain to Roberta that a suicide assessment may be beneficial for her because she expressed that when she is feeling low, she often thinks about whether or not she could take her own life. She expresses that she has thought about suicide to a degree for years. I would explain that the assessment would be a helpful tool in determining the course for her treatment plan and would also provide assistive information for the future if she continues to feel these suicidal ideations by implementing a safety plan.